I have a tendency to be long-winded, so they told me 5 minutes. I'm kind of a hermit, and I don't get out much. And I'm not sure if it's because I like people and I hate mankind, or vice versa. One of the things I've been doing this winter is studying to get a commercial driver's license. I have faith in me too. Thank you for yours. And I was on the internet looking for the price breakdown for the different degrees of commercial driver's license, and I noticed there was one for drivers 85 years and older. Like everything in my life, it reminded me of a bad joke. I'd like to die in my sleep like my grandfather, happy and peaceful, instead of screaming and crying like the people riding in the van he was driving. You're eating in my 5 minutes, you realize that. In the early 80s, Marcos Paredes decided that he wanted to start a horseback business down here and wanted to do an exploratory to, you know, work out the kinks and the logistics and stuff, and invited me along with another river guide, Tracy Blashill.
And me? What about me?
You weren't there. You weren't there. She was there too. That's a different story, and I don't have time for that tonight. Thank you. And so we decided to do a horseback trip from the Acosta Ranch out on the South County Road to Payne's Waterhole. We had never been to Payne's Waterhole, and so Marcos found a young Mexican boy who had been trapping out in that area, and he was going to be our guide over there, and then go off and check on his traps and head on home. So we went to the Acosta Ranch, got our horses, got saddled up, and I'm not really much of a horse rider. I like to think of myself as a good piece of baggage. I will get on the horse and be still and allow the horse to do whatever it needs to do, and it's worked out for the most part over the years.
I'm sorry, Richard, but that's 5 minutes.
About halfway up Ward Mountain, my horse began to buck.
Began to what?
It began to buck, move frolicsomely, without an agenda. I grabbed hold of the horn and proceeded to remain baggage-like. In the meantime, scanning around looking for places to land. When I saw the tail of the horse go past the horn of the saddle, I knew that that was the time to dismount. I was not fooled. I got off, landed in between some cactus, we settled everything down, got back on, went on to Payne's Waterhole, and it's a beautiful place. We set up camp, had dinner, and wouldn't say world class, but certainly an Olympic level snorer. Marcos Paredes
Is world class.
is world class. He's got T-shirts and stuff and little cups you can get. Unbeknownst to us, Tracy Blashill roared all of us into oblivion. So we all went in separate directions, set up tents, but none of us went in the tent. It started raining. All of us scurried into the tent and took turns waking each other and ourselves up throughout the night. Well, it continued to rain. How am I doing?
I'm sorry, Richard.
And we got up in the morning, and Marco said, do you want to see anything more here? Do you want to go on back? And I said, well, I think we should get out of here. So we broke down camp, saddled up, took off, and went across a ridge and dropped into Dark Canyon drainage. And each time we crossed the drainage, the water was coming up. And it was, we admitted later, it was the first horseback flash flood trip we had ever been on. And each time we crossed the creek and got in any little part of the canyon, there were waterfalls. I'm sorry, I really don't have time to finish this story. And I apologize, because you see, I'm a storyteller. I'm a wordsmith. I'm a spinster, and when you have those kinds of flaws, it takes time to take a story and just polish it and hone it and varnish it, if you will. And I just don't have time to, in 5 minutes. 5 minutes is really not, if I had time, the stories I could tell you if I had time, you have no idea. I mean, I could tell you. Oh man, it's getting close. I feel the pressure now. I got a couple of more things, really. Bill Ivey one time went to San Carlos to a dance. And as the old trading posts all did, they had credit. Well, he goes into the dance, sees all these people that live in San Carlos that know him, that owe him money, and they're giving him money. Here's something towards my tab. He's carrying $600, $700, $800 that people have just been giving him in the dance. He's driving back from San Carlos and realizes, if the DEA had been seeing this, in those days, of course, we were allowed to go to Mexico and visit our friends. Now we can't even play baseball with them. But, you know, 5 minutes really isn't enough time to...
Sorry, Richard. 10-minute limit is up now. Okay.
But if I did have time, one of the things I would tell you tonight are the he and she of the dark side. Who wrote it? I know. And I could tell you, I could tell the midnight skulking, the little scurrious language, but 5 minutes just isn't enough time.